Hello. God bless you and welcome again to my channel. My name is Emmanuel. Today is the grand finale for the 60 days intimacy fasting. And I want to speak to you today from my heart. And please, I want you to share this video with somebody and be a blessing to the person. I'm asking God for the wisdom and the grace to bring this message and to capture everything that I need to say to you. There was something I was believing God for many years ago, some years ago. And there was a delay on that subject matter. And I woke up one day and I decided to go on a long fasting. So I embarked on a 40 days fasting, 6 in the morning to 6 p.m., seeking the face of God on it. It was on the last day of that fasting that God answered me. So He did not speak to me on the first day. He did not speak to me on the second day. He did not speak to me on the 29th day. He was silent on the 39th day. It was on the last day that He spoke. Jesus was speaking to His disciples who could not cast out demon from a little child. And they were asking their master, how come we could not cast the demon out? And Jesus spoke to them. He said, this type of demon cannot be cast out except through fasting and prayer. I want to tell you, there are things that God will never do for you except you go into fasting and prayer. I know this will challenge your theology, this will challenge your belief. Because some of us, the kind of Christianity we received is an irresponsible Christianity, bread and butter Christianity, microwave Christianity, where they told you you don't have to do nothing for God to bless you, where they told you the love of God does not require human effort. Now, go through the Bible. There are 2 or 3 men who saw God face to face. They all went into 40 days fasting. Moses was speaking to God face to face. He was on 40 days fasting on the mountain. So when I hear people who say, you don't have to do nothing for God to bless you, you don't have to do nothing, just receive the love of God, I find that to be, I'm trying to find the right word. I find it to be ignorant for you to say that. I've come here to tell you, there are places God cannot take you except you go into fasting and prayers. The Bible said in the book of John, chapter 2, verse 24, except a seed falls to the ground and die, it abides alone. But if it dies, it will bear much fruit. Some of us, we are trying to avoid the process of dying, the dying process of the seed. You don't want to go through the process, but you want to get the blessing. So let me go back to my story. So that thing I was believing God for, God did not show me the secret on that matter until I went into a fasting. So He ignored me, He kept silent. But when I went into fasting on the last day, He opened my eyes and I saw the secret and the blessing came. I want to tell you something. Go to the book of Isaiah chapter 58. The Bible talked about the kind of fasting that produces results. You must fast in order to get secrets from God. Let me tell you, there are secrets that God will not show you about your marriage, about your business, your career, your health, your ministry, your finances. There are things that God will never show you until you go into fasting. Take it to the bank. There are things that God will never show you. There are secrets He will never show you about that marriage until you embark on a prayer and a fasting. When I say prayer and fasting, I'm not talking about 6 to 12. I mean serious fasting. with prayers, then he will open your eyes and you will see. For the past 59 days, I've been making videos, and somebody was asking me, how are you able to get topics to speak on for 59 days or 60 days? And I tell the person, it's the Holy Spirit. For every video I posted in the last 59 days, I heard God very clear. I heard him very, very clear. He would tell me, speak on this topic. And when I'm trying to choose, sometimes I wanted to choose the topic I want to talk on as a human being. He would tell me, no, that's not the topic. I told you what to talk about. See, when you are working with God, you don't guess. When you are working with God, you don't do what you want to do. You follow his directions. And I want to talk to somebody here right now. There's a secret about your marriage you need to find out. You are married 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, you don't have a child, and you still have the mouth to eat 3 square meals. I said you're a joker. You're a big joker. You are a comedian if you think that God will just release certain things without fasting. You are joking. There are things that God will not do until you go into fasting and prayer. There are things that will never happen. If you like, cry. If you like, weep. If you like, roll on the floor. There are things that will never ever happen in your life until you embark on a prayer and fasting and seek the face of God and go to get the secret from God. You ask God, why is this marriage not working? You ask God, why is my child behaving this way? You ask God, why is my spouse treating me this way? Because maybe there's a spirit behind it. You ask God, why is this business not working? Why is my health suffering? Why am I not getting results in life? There are things God will never open your eyes to see until you go into prayers and fasting, until you begin to live a fasted life. Some of you, the sickness you are talking about, when you start fasting, you observe that you start living a healthy life. I cannot remember the last day I ate for three times a day, like 3 times a day, even when I'm not fasting. You got to discipline your appetite. It will help you. Some of you who are battling with sexual sin, by the time you go into fasting, that lust and desire to sleep with somebody you are not married to, that addiction to pornography, addiction to masturbation, addiction to anger, the easiest way to destroy addiction is to go into fasting. The moment you go into fasting, you will crush addiction. It will leave. It's going to leave. Some of you have monitoring spirit following you. Before you make any step, the spirit will sabotage you. Go into fasting and you will crush that demon. It's a demon, a monitoring spirit. Isaiah chapter 58, the Bible said that when you embark on a prayer and fasting, God will show you secrets. He said there will be an outbreak of light. He will start showing you things that you never knew before. I want to challenge someone here listening to me. It is dangerous to eat 3 square meals every day. I told you I would say some things that you don't want to hear. It is dangerous in this generation that you are eating 3 square meals. In a generation that the devil is trying to destroy your marriage. In a generation the devil, even people you call friends, even the people you call your friends are not true friends. They are praying for your downfall. It is dangerous that you are eating 3 square meals. In this dispensation, in this generation, you got to learn how to discipline yourself and live a fasted life. You sleep at night and demons enter into your room and you are not yet fasting. Your marriage is at the edge of divorce, going through crisis in your marriage, and you are not praying and fasting. You don't know. See, let me tell you. There are battles you will fight just because you got married. Let me say it again. There are battles you will fight. No matter how peaceful you are, no matter how nice you are, no matter how nice you are, there are battles that the devil will send to you just because you got married. Marriage attracts battles. It attracts war. There are battles you face just because you got pregnant. Who are you to get pregnant? Who are you to be married? Who are you to prosper in your business? Who are you to be happy? That's the question the devil is asking. The devil is asking you a question. Who are you to be happy? I will find ways to sabotage your happiness. I'll find ways to destroy your home. That is why you must learn how to pray and fast. I want to challenge you. It is time to change the trajectory of your life. There are things happening around you and you don't know how to explain. You can't even explain it. You don't know why you act the way you act. You don't know why you get sick the way you get sick. You don't know why your spouse is suddenly getting angry at you and lashing out at you. And you are not praying and fasting. You're not seeking the face of God. Stop joking. Life is spiritual. Everything about life is spiritual. Everything about life is spiritual. Let me end by saying this. You are a target. This word just came to my spirit. You are a target. And when you know you're a target, there are things you don't do. When you know you're a target, there are places you don't go. When you know you're a target, you live a fasted life. This is very important. I just want to encourage you with this word. Today is the last day of this series, 60 days fasting. And God has been speaking to me for the past 60 days, and I want to thank God. And I want to encourage you to live a life of fasting. There are things you will see and you will live a healthy life. I will say it again. There are things you will start seeing and you will live a healthy life. The sickness you are struggling with, by the time you start fasting, it will drop. God bless you and thank you for staying through with me. My name is Emmanuel. Bye.